easily overlooked because struggle is not stagnant. Struggle is fluid. It takes on the shape of its container. So it comes as no surprise that our struggle doesn't look like the struggle of our brothers and sisters before us. It doesn't look like the struggle of the helpless slave. It doesn't look like the struggle of the poor sharecropper. It doesn't look like the struggle of the freedom riders and the boycotters and the protesters, but it is struggle nonetheless. The issue with struggle is that it is sometimes silent. And when it is silent, we assume that it is stagnant, and it is not. Our struggle, like that dream deferred, is festering, its course of infection accelerating, its ugliness manifesting in every corner of America, every nook and cranny, every housing project, every suburb. And it stinks, like the rotten meat to which Langston Hughes alludes in his poem, A Dream Deferred. It is not that we are just now realizing the awful, repugnant, offensive stench of the dreams deferred. It's just that for once, a hand over the nose will not suffice. For once, that metaphorical air freshener, also known as lip service, it's not enough. Struggle is real, it's prevalent, and it will not be ignored. We're struggling from identity crisis, because for so long we have been perpetual victims of identity theft, frequently confined to a box of whitewashed definition, and this generation is struggling to find the beauty in their blackness, and they can't see it for all of the disadvantages that they have inherited merely for the color of their skin. They desire so much to be boldly and unapologetically black, and that desire is every day drowned out by news and media that incessantly reminds them, hey, no matter how successful, no matter how ambitious, no matter how accomplished, no matter how educated, you are still black. You're still black. And this country's system has been so strategically set up that that will always play as a disadvantage for you. They want to be courageously black. They want to hold their heads high in absolute, undeniable, irrefutable blackness and take full ownership of it. And that's hard for them to do in a world that views their blackness as a threat. And I am telling you that our blackness, my blackness and yours, is indeed a threat, but it's not the kind of threat they think it is. It's not a threat to their lives. It's not a violent threat. It's a threat to the mindset. It's a threat to their mentality, a mentality that has taken eons to edify and to cultivate and to promote and to perpetuate. And our practice of blackness is surely encroaching on those things. Reversing those ideologies, threatening everything that America has told us is inherently wrong with you and with me. What we see on a daily basis is the way the media wants to present us. It's the way cultures outside of our own perceive us, and they take these loosely based, poorly rendered presentations and perceptions, and they present them as hard, cold fact. Stripped of our identity, we stare in our nakedness at our lost sense of self. And we choose from a wardrobe of distorted illusions, clothed in widely accepted misconceptions, false pretenses, and unrealistic perceptions. We are lost. We're tiptoeing on a trapeze that is strategically wedged between who they think we are and who we have the capacity to be. So are we who they say we are? For the first time in history, of the data collection of the National Center of Education Statistics, as reported by the U.S. Census Bureau, black women, our women, have surpassed every other group in this country in college entrance based upon race and gender. We are the most highly educated group in America. Nearly 1 out of every 10 black females is enrolled in a college or a university in this nation. In this nation. So are we who they say we are? Are we who they portray us to be? Are we limited to finger-snapping, neck-rolling, twerking, profanity-slinging, gold-digging, angry black woman? Is that who we are? Because that's how they package us. Are men uneducated? Are they unfit fathers and drug slingers and gangbangers and career convicts? Is that who they are? Because that's how they're packaged to us. When I look at my generation, I see a sense of longing. We're longing to be the rule and not the exception. We're longing not to be judged in our totality by the experiences or the decisions of a select handful. We're longing to be treated as if our black lives mean something, that they matter. We're longing to not have to have our eyes peeled for the traps of injustice and discrimination. And I'm telling you, it's not enough to witness history. It's not enough to be a catalyst for change. We can no longer afford to be well-adjusted to injustice. We can no longer afford to be used to it. We can no longer afford to look over it because it's happening over there and not over here. We can no longer afford to be helpless bystanders in this war, and please don't be mistaken, this is a war. There are casualties every day. There is a body count. There are weapons of mass destruction that are so strategically aimed at our character, at our culture, and at our creed. Every day. Can't afford to live through it, or survive it, or ignore it. We don't have any more minutes on the clock. We don't have it in us to excuse yet another generation of dreams deferred. We cannot sit idly by and helplessly witness the genocide of our character and our culture. This is the time to reclaim the dialogue of our blackness. This is about changing the narrative to reflect the beautiful reality. This is about taking ownership of the things that are happening to us and choosing to do something. I wrote a letter to my future black daughter yesterday. I deleted everyone. I crossed through every paragraph because I couldn't find it in me to adequately explain to my unborn child how I could somehow see fit to bring her into a world that will already have judged her by the time I check that little box that has that one simple word on it, life. So by the end, I didn't really have a letter. I had a sentence, and it reads like this. Though your spiritual existence is far advanced, I vow not to be a vessel to your physical manifestation until I have prepared a world that is ready. And that's why I'm here. That's why this conversation, this dialogue, this event, this evening, this night, this speech, everything that I've said, that's why it matters. Because her life depends on